Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy...
Kwanzaa and Happy Ramones.
Hello everybody, welcome to Homewrecker Podcast. I am the Golden Creek Alexarion. I'm joined as always by my beautiful, lovely, gorgeous, amazing, curly-haired, trophy wife, Monique.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. I was going to say the Ramones isn't a holiday, but, damn well should be. I like the Ramones.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like them.
All
And
right.
I love the song. It's one of my favorite Christmas songs. For our watchers, we're listening to Ramones' Merry Christmas. I don't want to fight tonight.
Yeah, we can't put that on YouTube because
No.
of copyrights and what have you, which, I get it. That's cool.
Yeah, we don't want to get sued.
Yeah, we want to avoid that if we can.
But we just love the music and we want to share it.
Yeah.
That's
It's
all.
good stuff. All right.
Without having to pay for it, damn it.
Yeah, that's right. We're cheap over here.
They should be
on
paying
Homewrecker
us.
Podcast.
Yeah, they should be paying us to be playing it.
Right. If only the world worked that way.
I know. I just love my Ramones.
All right. So, what's new with you this week?
Well, as this airs, it's like days before Christmas.
Have you done all your Christmas shopping?
We really kind of stopped doing Christmas. We got a couple things for the kids.
It's great that we're having this Christmas show.
Well,
so, what are your traditions? We don't do anything. We
do things, but in terms of gifts.
I'm kidding.
So, we had said we would rather give our kids experiences. Like, why buy all these things to have under the tree for the kids to open that they don't even play with? Half the stuff you're buying just to have something there for them, and they don't care about it. So why waste your money? Why waste your space? Waste all of that when you can just maybe get them one or two things that, okay, if they want it or need it, that's fine. But let's try to give them experiences. So that is what we've been trying to do.
And then the world shut down. So,
Fucking figures, right?
there you have it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's okay.
But yeah, we're still going to maintain that tradition here in our home
Yes.
and household.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, the kids know that there's no such thing as Santa.
Yeah, we had that conversation last
Yeah.
year because we're like, here we are talking about, oh, we want honesty, we want the truth, and we're lying to our kids about Santa.
But a lot of people are saying, yeah, but that's in good fun and everything else. But you miss the point. You're still lying to your children.
And you're teaching your kids to lie to their kids.
Exactly. So we decided we want to break that cycle for our children, and we're not going to do it anymore.
And
they kind of knew already.
yeah.
So it's kind of one of those silly things where you're lying to them. They kind of know after a while and figure it out, and then they're lying back to you, saying, "Oh yeah, we believe in Santa. We can't wait." Well, they're both just lying to each other.
We're just weaving a big old web of Christmas lies.
So just be honest
Yeah.
with each other, or whatever.
And
Anyhow,
I think
people are turning us off and like, "Oh, Santa, no, what?
I think
How can you be like that?"
I think
But
you can still believe in the magic of Christmas. Absolutely. We did, at a few years back, teach our kids about Krampus. And
That had mixed
our middle
results.
child did not take that well. He was petrified. So it was like, backfired a little bit.
well,
But he learned.
There's always risks involved when you talk about things like that with a young child.
This is true. But you don't know until you try.
Right.
So today we want to talk about Christmas traditions. But before we get into that, anything you want to discuss? Because I kind of jumped in to do that, and then I realized I didn't get a chance to ask you about you, Alex.
I have nothing to say.
Okay, I figured,
I
but
don't
I
know.
did not want to be rude.
Thanks for not being rude to me. That's very nice of you.
I love you.
All right.
Today we're going to have some past guests over this past year back on the show just to talk about some of their Christmas traditions. But
We're going to have some friends of the Homewrecker Podcast.
yes, we have friends. And we don't have to pay them.
Believe it or not. We do have
We
some
really
friends.
do. We're not lying. We're being honest. But yeah, we're going to have some friends on to talk about their Christmas traditions. But before we have other people talk about theirs, why don't we talk a little bit about ours?
Sure.
Did you ever have any Christmas traditions as a kid?
Disappointment.
That's
My-
a shitty tradition.
If my brother is listening right now, he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about because you've told me, and yeah,
Yes.
it sucks.
Yes. Disappointment was a Christmas tradition in my household growing up. I don't really feel like getting into all the specifics because it's kind of.
You don't want to work through your traumas?
I already have. Like I went through all that stuff already. I'm at peace with all that. It's in the past. It's not anything I think about or dwell on. So I'd rather not dredge it up.
Okay.
If that's all right with you. Sorry to blue ball the listeners like that. I didn't think you were going to be asking me that, so kind of put me on the spot a little bit there. Which is, it's fine. But no, it's not nothing I want to talk about. Nothing horrible. Nothing bad.
Just crappy stuff.
Just not, yeah. When you're, and that's another reason why I'm so glad that we're on the same page with the materialism thing with our children, because that's how I was raised. I grew up thinking you're supposed to get whatever you ask for on Christmas, and it was like the worst gifts you could possibly imagine as a child, and it was year after year for myself, my brother, my sister as well. But my brother and I got it the worst for sure.
Like used clothing from neighborhood people.
Like, and being told that that's what it was, not even not even being told like, oh, look at this brand new thing. No, you're told, oh yeah, I got this from the so and so. Oh, okay, that's good, great. But anyway, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to bring up all that stuff. But yes, disappointment was the tradition that I had growing up. We knew every year Christmas time. Oh, this is gonna suck.
So
and it literally was that. Like, it was a running gag between my brother and I. By the time I was, I don't know, 14, 15, he and I would just kind of joke around, like in advance of Christmas, about how bad it was going to be, and then we would just, every time we'd open our gift, we would just laugh because it just became funny to us. Like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Like, why do we even bother?
I'm gonna cry because it's sad.
No, it's not.
Because you have to laugh because you're so disappointed and you know it's so shitty.
Yeah,
that
but
it's like that's your coping mechanism.
We made it fun for us. Like, we made it because we had to laugh. Yeah, like you said. Yeah,
it's your coping mechanism.
Sure,
If you can't laugh, you'll cry. So your Christmases were not heartfelt.
No, I don't know, not at all. Absolutely not.
Yeah. See, for me.
But how? We started with me in the down here, so now why don't we bring the mood up a bit, and don't anybody feel bad at all, please. That's not.
Well, I mean,
but we talk about being honest and the truth,
yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you the truth.
And again, there are people who get even worse or get nothing. So there's always worse. But just for your personal experiences.
Right, and again, I always had a roof over my head. I always had clothes. I always had a full belly. I was never starving or anything like that. I was a very fortunate child. Mm-hmm. But being brought up in this culture, in this country, and especially in the 80s and the 90s, especially in the 80s, where materialism and material goods and things like that were so pushed on society and the culture, and that's what you're expecting. All the Christmas movies you see, all the kids getting all the presents from Santa and all that stuff, that's what you expect. And when it doesn't happen, and I mean, not even anything even close to a cool gift, I guess, I'm putting my fingers up in quotes, as a kid, it was disappointing in that aspect. But like I said, my parents loved us. We always had a roof over our head. We had the essentials and then some. But just Christmas itself, again, I don't want to get too deep into it, but it was always a disappointment as far as we'd see what we'd get for gifts, and then we'd see what other people would get for gifts. And when I say other people would get for gifts, I mean from my parents, right? Exactly. And then we'd see what we get, and we'd be like, wait a minute, hold on, should it be the other way around? There's a little bit of a disconnect here, hold on. But anyhow.
I'll bite my tongue on that.
Bite your tongue. All right.
Did you ever have to deal with growing up kids say, oh, well, how many presents did you get? And try to make it a kissing contest?
Yes, of course.
I hate
that's a kid's thing. And I always hated that because I don't like to lie. That's something that, from a young age, my father always instilled in me to always be honest and tell the truth, no matter what. And so I always dreaded going back to school after that little winter break because you'd have to, you tell your friends if they ask you, "What'd you get? What'd you get?" And you'd have to tell them. They'd be like, "No, really, what'd you get?" No, that's what I got. So yeah, it sucked. It was not a good time.
Yeah.
So anyway, how about you though? I'm sure knowing your parents, I can only assume that you had pretty awesome Christmases.
I think we talked about it last year at Christmas time.
Let's talk about it again.
Yeah, no, I loved Christmas. I would be on my dad's side of the family. My dad and my uncle would get the acoustic guitars, and we would all sing. We would go out Christmas caroling, but it was just like there was so much music and happiness and laughter, and it was just like the best thing in the world because just being a kid, and I just remember I'd always, when I was little, I'd always try to stay up for Santa, and I'd be like, I'm gonna stay up, and then I'd fall asleep. And I could have been asleep for 10 minutes, but I remember I would wake up, because I didn't know what time it was, and I'd be like, did Santa come yet? And they're like, you just missed him. Every time, without fail. But it was still great. I remember as a kid, and again, here we are talking about the lies of Santa Claus, but I remember hearing noises, I swore I heard something on the roof, and I was like, it's Santa! It was probably somebody trying to break in or something. No, I'm kidding. But no, it was just that magical feeling. And it wasn't about presents. It wasn't about Santa. It was just about our family and having that much fun as a family. We would also go to my mom's side, that family, and we'd have food and we'd do gifts and everything. But it was just awesome. My parents, I was so fortunate. My parents made Christmas awesome. And again, it's not about gifts for me. It was about just my parents, my family, doing those fun things, having those fun memories and experiences. And that's why, when I say we want to give our kids experiences, doesn't mean you have to take them somewhere. You just do stuff with them. You give them things to look forward to and have fun with.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why. And again, even if money isn't an issue for people, if you think about it, what kind of enjoyment do you get out of just opening something real quick and well, cool. As a kid, yeah, you get that initial excitement.
I think parents get it seeing it from the kids.
Sure, but then it's if you look at it for now, say today, say you give your kid a video game. Are you going to spend time with your kid playing that video game and laughing and sharing in the excitement? If you are, then that's different. But most parents, I think, from what I've seen anyway, you give them their gift and then they take off and they go play with their gift, and then it's okay. I feel with holidays and things like that, it should be a time where family comes together and you're together, you're doing things together. But again, that's just my opinion. I'm not saying anything is wrong with the way people do it. It's just for us, for what we want. That's how we want to do things. So it's a little different than what the norm, I guess, is now.
Screw the norm.
Yeah, the norm is stupid anyway. Just do what works for you, everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. Do what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, so yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Christmas. It is that time of year.
It is. And one of the other things that now we do with the kids that's become our tradition is every year, usually within a few days within Christmas, we go out, we go driving, and we look at Christmas lights.
Yeah, we go and look at the Christmas lights. There's a few. Last year was a real letdown. Last year there was barely anybody put up their lights.
So we have one house within a 5-minute drive from us.
Yeah.
And every year.
It's that house. It's that house that I'm sure everybody has close by to them or has heard of or seen pictures of where they've got
traffic. Because everyone wants to go by and see it. They go all
awesome.
out.
Yeah, very well done.
And so every year we would go see this house. And then all of a sudden one year there was nothing. No lights, nothing. And we're like, oh my gosh, what happened? Are these people okay? Did they move? Did something happen?
There was concern.
We were legit concerned. And then I think it was like after 2 years they started doing it
They
again.
started doing it again. Yeah,
Yeah.
They didn't do it for a couple of years, and they started doing it again. And I remember that first year when it happened, it was like, oh my gosh, like, what are we gonna do? I mean, that's the house.
You know what I just realized? We should write them a letter because we know the address, and just write them a letter thanking them for doing that every year and like telling them like how much we look forward to it.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea.
I just thought of that. I can't believe I didn't
Sure.
think of that before.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a great idea.
hey, thank you for doing this because we look forward to this every year and it's our part of our family tradition.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
We should do that. We will do that. We shall do that.
Shall do it.
Shall.
It shall be done.
It shall be done.
Yes.
Language is important. Words have meaning.
They
Yeah.
do. They do. So that's one of our big traditions.
Yeah, and we go out, and like I said, last year, it was like nobody had any lights up at all. It was pretty disappointing. We had to drive. We drove a lot, and we didn't see much. And we went out on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So you would think that
All the lights.
All the lights
you're
would
gonna
be
have your
on.
lights on. That's the night.
right, and there was like nothing. It was disappointing. So hopefully this year that trend has changed with most people being home now. I mean, you really don't have an excuse anymore, I guess, unless it's just you just don't want to do it. Which I get it. It takes effort and all that kind of stuff, of course. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Christmas lights are this year around our neck of the woods.
Mm-hmm. One of the things I just wanted to share because I remembered one of the things we tried was we were watching. This was years ago. Shark Tank.
Yeah.
And they had the like the reindeer paws, so it would leave prints.
That's right. Yes.
So we saw that and we're like, oh, that's such a clever idea because they had like reindeer paws, they had like Easter bunny paws, all these things. So we got the Christmas one. So I forget what it is, but it washes off in water. But you mix this white powder with water, and you get like this stamp of like little reindeer
it's
hooves,
like little,
and you like put it all over the place. So our oldest was younger at the time,
He was
and
like 4.
no, I think he was like 6.
No, he wasn't that old. He was not
And we
that old.
were
He
in
was
this
like,
house.
you sure?
Yes, I know.
The
'cause it
first-
was like, yes.
The first time we did it was in
yes,
this house?
it was in this house.
Okay. All right then.
So he was like, I want to say 6 or 7. But we did it, and he loved it. It was great.
Yeah, we did.
So if you are going to lie to your kids, you can do that. It's kind of clever and fun, and they get a kick out of it.
It's part of the lie.
Yeah.
Makes the lie more believable. So yeah, there you go. Here we are talking about being honest with our kids, and now you're telling me, yeah, but just do this one though. 'cause it
No.
worked.
I'm saying if you're going to, that's a fun thing to do. Because some people might be like, screw you, I'm going to lie to my kids, because it's what we do.
Yeah, of course. And like I said, that's fine. What do you think of the whole? I don't even know if it's still a thing anymore. Remember that elf on the shelf thing?
Yes.
Do you remember that thing?
Yes. And I got it for our oldest when he was little. That's before we moved into this house.
Okay. All
He
right.
couldn't give 2 shits about it.
Hey, he didn't care.
He didn't
He
care.
didn't care. Thing is creepy looking too. If you look at
Well,
it.
you see people do like super clever things like with it and like putting it in fun places and like dressing it up and putting it in all these like crazy situations and it like in these through pictures and it's awesome. And I'm just like, shit, I forgot to move the elf. Boop, I move it like 2 feet over.
So we only did that 1 year though.
I think so because I'm like, yeah, this is lame. He
Yeah,
didn't care.
He could care less. So
Yeah.
it was more so a thing for us to do, and it was like, all right, this is
I got better things to do.
this is kind of
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Hmm.
all right. Well, who do we have on tap?
Well, our
For
first
today.
guest is like my new best friend. You might remember her from our human design episode, Michelle Johnston, and she is a human design leader. Her and I became good friends pretty fast. So I asked her to come on the show, and she happily agreed.
Sweet.
Yes.
From Canada.
Yes.
So should be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm curious for all of
I know.
finding out. I should say I'm getting all tongue tied now. Jeez. I'm curious to find out what all of our guests have as their Christmas traditions. So it should be definitely interesting conversation to follow.
Yes.
So why don't we take a quick break, and when we come back, we will be here with Michelle Johnston talking about her Christmas traditions. We'll be right back.
And we're back with my new friend, Michelle Johnston, and we're going to talk about her holiday traditions. Hi, Michelle.
Hey guys, so nice to see you.
So good to see you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I've got my Homewrecker mug with me.
Yay!
My favorite new mug, so that's,
Awesome.
That's right here with me.
Yay, we like to send gifts to our guests, so we're givers.
Yeah, and they're very prudent. And the guests very much appreciate it.
Yay, fabulous.
Yeah.
So Michelle, tell us about your Christmas. Tell us growing up what it was like and what, if you have traditions you've carried over or new ones you've started.
Okay, I love that. And I love this topic because one of the things that I'm going to tell you guys is like I had no idea other families did things a little bit different in certain regards.
Okay.
So as a kid, first of all, we would celebrate at my Nana and Grandpa's on Christmas Eve. They were European. Well, my Nana was. And so Christmas Eve is like a big thing, right? And I was the only child. I had no cousins. I had no siblings. It was just me. And I would have to wait till midnight to open my gifts. And I'd be like so tired. And we never thought that we could like do a fake early Christmas for me and then I could go to bed. So that's something we always laugh at. But okay, a couple of things from growing up. So first of all, Santa had very special rules and like an agreement worked out with my household. And part of it was that like Santa never wrapped stuff in our house. You know, Christmas morning, I would come down, but not too early, because the other thing that there was an agreement with my parents and Santa was that if I went downstairs without them, then all of my gifts would probably disappear. So
wow, your parents are really like thinking ahead on this.
They were thinking quite ahead, and so like I had no siblings to like test the boundaries with, right? So I waited patiently. My parents got home at 4 a.m. from Christmas the night before at Nana and Grandpa's, and like I would just be sitting at the top of the stairs, like waiting to go down. And they would let me wake them up early, and thankfully the Christmas presents never disappeared.
Thank goodness,
Yeah.
that's important.
Right.
It is important. Now, when I was about 6, I got my first bicycle, and I did take a little sneak downstairs that time, and luckily, some magic potion, something happened, and everything was intact.
It's Christmas magic.
Right? So that's what was going on in our house when I was a kid. But then things got kind of interesting later on. So my parents divorced when I was in my early 20s, and at that time, I've got something else about something that people did that we didn't do, but I'll get to that. And at that time, we were like in this big transition, and so eventually our family found a new way, right? So my mom said, okay, I'm always going to do Christmas Eve, and you guys can sort yourselves out with your dad, with your boyfriends, but that's when it's always going to be. And the thing that's really cool about my mom is she was like and she still is to this day, like, let's have it be awesome. Hey, if you can't make it Christmas Eve, that's okay, but that's when it is, and that's when we're having it.
Yeah.
And I like that because she just takes the charge out of the expectations. But what we decided to do, and she was like really big on, you can create a new tradition anytime. And my mom is really good at like planting seeds and looking forward. So, so she was like, hey, things are going to change. You guys are going to get, grow up, maybe get married and dynamic. But we're going to just start this new tradition. So the first thing that we did with my mom, so my siblings and I and my mom, we decided that we would make Christmas special by honoring Festivus.
All right.
So great.
Like from the yeah, so I looked it up. I was like, well, what year was that in Seinfeld that George Costanza's dad brought Festivus to the show, which is 1997.
Okay.
Going way back to our early traditions, new traditions. And so on the 23rd of December, my siblings and my mom and I would load into the car, and we would drive across the Greater Toronto area to this like small city town called Bowmanville, and they have this neighborhood, and everybody had crazy Christmas lights. It was like a destination. But part of Festivus is that you have a common meal, right? That's one of the tenets of it. And Festivus is all about like the anti-Christmas. So it's right Festivus for the rest of us, and we're like rejecting all the traditions. So we would
The airing of the grievances.
Awesome.
oh, and we will get to that. And so on the way to Bowmanville, we the first year we stopped, and this was like an annual tradition. We stopped at a truck stop, so to get our common meal. So just before we turned off the highway to get to Bowmanville, there was a fifth wheel truck stop. So we went in and we like ordered fish, like French fries rather, and gravy.
Tremendous.
And we shared a common meal, and then we went to look at the lights. And then the first year, my family was like, okay, what else is we got to do for Festivus? And they're like, oh, the airing of grievances. I'm like a decade older than my siblings, and so kind of like, and I'm also, as you guys know, I'm a Sagittarian, double fire sign, Leo rising, so a lot of personality. And so literally the whole car turned and we're like, it went, Michelle. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are all gonna air your grievances to me, right up front. And they were really willing to do that. I cut it right off because I said, hey, the next thing we have to do, according to Festivus rules, remember, is wrestle the head of the household down to the ground and dance around the Festivus pole. So that's really like, it really was just a tradition of going and having a common meal at the truck stop and then checking lights out.
Awesome.
And the first year we did like a bit of a Mission Impossible thing. Like there was a lady in our neighborhood, really sweet lady actually, but her yard was out of control with those blow up Christmas, like out of control.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we stopped in front of the house on our way out to sightseeing that first year, and we like all posed on this woman's front yard.
Good stuff.
In like stealth mode, and we were like doing crazy stuff. And it was just so much fun, and it really broke the tension. From like that, freshly divorced, trying to figure your thing out. So it's like a fun thing that we always look back on. We don't do it anymore because life's gotten a little busier, but it was really funny.
That is awesome. That is
great.
So cool.
That's a hell of a tradition.
Yes, it is.
So we're really, and then the other thing that my mom started to do, like when I was in my 20s, and my siblings would have been in their, I don't know, teens.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, okay, you guys, Christmas gets expensive, when you have a family, and it's not just us, there's like other people.
Yeah.
So she started to slowly get us used to the idea that it was less about giving everybody a gift and more about a meaningful time together.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it just worked out really well. And I think she got that from my grandfather. So her dad, they had created like just so many family members. My mom had like 1 million cousins. And so one year he said, so his thing was, if you're going to make a change around traditions, it takes 3 years for it to stick. So I think this is really cool for listeners to maybe consider.
Yeah.
So he said the first year, he's like, I'm not buying any gifts. Like, I'm going to come, we're going to have a great time. And nobody took him seriously, and they all bought him gifts and their family gifts. Year 2, they were like, well, surely he didn't mean it. And they did it again. And he's like, no, I meant it. And by the 3rd year, everybody was used to the new flow. So he always said it takes 3 years to change something. He was freaking awesome. And so what we do now is we do like a secret Santa between the siblings. Mm-hmm. We all buy my mom stuff. She crazily all buys us stuff. I'm like, Mom, you need to stop that. And then we do a gift steal. And how we do the gift steal, so we have to buy something for $25.
Okay.
In my opinion is you have to rock that, because it can easily go cheesy, and you can easily just throw $25 away on something that nobody wants.
Yeah.
True.
You want to be the person that brings a thing that people fight over. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what my husband and I always do. We always come up with some kind of creative way to like just have our thing be the thing that people want. And with the gift steal, what we do is we have 2 decks of cards, and the gifts are all wrapped, and we deal the whole deck out so that every person has an equal number of cards in their hand,
Mhm.
and then we have a master deck. So the master deck, we flip it over and go, okay, who's got the King of Hearts? And if you've got the King of Hearts, you get to pick first. And when you pick, you unwrap. I just found out that friends do this, but they don't unwrap it. I'm like, oh, you gotta know what you're stealing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we have up here, we call it a Yankee swap, and usually we put numbers in a hat, and you pick a number, and you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. But I like that with the cards.
Yeah, I like the
Yeah.
card thing. I've never heard that before. That's awesome.
Yeah, maybe it's a weird Canadian thing.
But we always, you get the gift, you unwrap it so you can see what it is.
Right? Because, like, anything can look pretty, but it might just be it might be something that you're not, like, excited about.
Yeah.
And so the best is, if you, like, and it happens to me, I don't know, I've, like, put it out to the universe or something, I'm like, okay, don't have me be, like, in the first round at all. Like, I want cards that are going to get picked last, because you get more choices to steal.
Right.
Yeah.
Later on. So we do that, and it's a riot. It's so much fun, and then it's just really about eating and food with us. But those are the things that we do now, and it's always Christmas Eve at my mom's. But like, okay, so here's my question to you guys.
Yeah.
In your house, does Santa wrap what goes in the stockings?
So, so we were discussing
You wanna
this
take this
earlier.
one?
So we actually, we don't do Santa anymore. We used to.
Yeah.
But we don't want to be lying to our kids because we felt like here we are saying we're all about the truth and we're all about honesty. And yet every year come, Christmas time, we're lying to our kids about that. And it's this tradition where you say, okay, it's okay to lie, but you're, like we were saying, like our kids knew there was no Santa, but they were lying to us. And we're just like lying to each other, just for what?
Yeah.
So we actually don't do that, but we don't do stockings either.
Yeah,
Right.
didn't we at first?
No, my parents
Okay.
like have stockings. We don't have anywhere to hang them. We don't have a fireplace or a mantle. So it was like, where can we hang these that won't damage our walls? And that probably sounds so petty. But when I was a kid growing up, if it was in the stocking, it wasn't wrapped.
Right, okay. It was like 4 years ago where I was talking to people and I was like, you what? Stocking stuffers are
The
wrapped?
stocking is like the wrap. That's it goes in there. You might have like a candy cane or something sticking out, but everything in the stocking, you don't peek. You're not allowed to peek in the stocking.
Right, exactly.
I had a friend growing up whose family wrapped everything in their stockings. It was weird, but yeah.
It's weird when you don't do it. You're just like, huh?
Yeah.
And as somebody who has to, like, I enjoy rapping, but there's a limit.
I like wrapping too, but I
Right?
don't know. I don't know. It's just
And
too
our
much.
stockings only ever had, like, treats. We never had, like, cool, like, we never had toys or chapstick or anything. It was, like, Mountain Dew, salt and vinegar chips, an old holdover. We would get a clementine, right, from the days of scurvy when you couldn't get vitamin C in the winter. So it's crazy stuff that we would do. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that's fun that we get into.
Oh my god, that's awesome. See, we did candy and like we'd have like maybe a couple small toys, maybe, but it was mostly like candy and treats.
Candy.
But we didn't get Mountain Dew. We got like candy canes and chocolates.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
It's mostly candy canes, chocolates, that kind of thing.
I love that. It's so doable. Yeah, so that's what we do, and it's just a lot of fun. There's usually 1 year we did a cocktail competition, and nobody was taking it as seriously as I was, so I didn't have fun.
Aww. Of course you took it seriously because you're Sagittarius. You're like, you're gonna challenge me. Let's do this.
I'm in business, you guys.
Yeah.
So it's great, and this year is different, of course. We are doing a virtual Christmas with my family. So my brother, his wife is pregnant with their first child, so they want to be super careful. That's fine.
Congratulations to them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I am. so excited. First baby.
Yay!
And so my brother's gonna cook a turkey the day before, and my mom's gonna like deliver it to us all, and then we're gonna enjoy it on Christmas and do our gifts. And we're not doing a gift deal this year. We're gonna each pick a charity to donate to. So we're gonna donate. Yeah, we're gonna do local food bank. My husband and I, and yeah, and then we're gonna see my stepkids on Boxing Day, which is December 26th.
Nice.
What is Boxing Day? Because we don't have that here, so you gotta explain that, please.
Okay, the first thing about Boxing Day is you get it off of work.
Nice.
So that's amazing. So it's the day after Christmas. It's a national holiday. It's a holdover from the British Empire. And from what I understand, like Canadians mostly we're not like brought up knowing why we have Boxing Day. But it's just a day, like we always order Chinese food on Boxing Day and just watch movies and read books and lounge.
So I'm French Canadian, so I should be observing Boxing Day and letting my work know this, right?
I feel like you should.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah, the Queen requires it of you.
Queen can go screw herself, but I just want a day off.
So like apparently what it was, and I don't know if it was like, I think it might have been a royal thing where it started. So the royals would have, let's say that's true, they would have their, I don't know if it's royals or just wealthy people, they would have their Christmas, and then the day after Christmas, after the, the upper class people's needs were met, then the servants of the house would be given like a little gift or something on that day. And so this is what I think it is. I don't care. I love that it's just pajama day, essentially.
There you go.
I was gonna say, like, I thought it had to do with like boxing, like fisticuffs, like people got in the streets and fought. I don't know.
You're joking, right?
All your stuff and throwing it away. Yeah.
Yes, I'm joking about that.
Okay, good. Just making sure. You never know.
Okay, that's for Festivus.
I love it. Michelle, thank you so much for coming back on our show and sharing all these stories and traditions with us. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, and I can't wait to hear what everybody else gets up to.
Yes, and we wish you a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Hi. We're back with our friends from the podcast Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars. Mark, and Lonnie, the Lizard King. Because I know it's Lonnie the Lizard, but to me, you're the Lizard King. And I feel you don't mind that.
I feel special.
You are special. Guys, how are you doing?
Oh, we're doing great. Yeah, everybody's healthy and reasonably happy.
Reasonably. As good as we can get, right?
I like that. There you go.
It's a beautiful day here in Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Sunny and
32 degrees.
Yeah, absolutely perfect.
Nice. Yeah, we haven't seen the sun in like a week here.
It's gray.
So, yeah, very gray.
But it's in the mid-40s, so it's quite warm.
Yeah, but the bonus is you guys have a state with two names, so we don't have that.
We have 3. Washington.
There you go.
There it is.
All right, so we're talking about holiday traditions. So we want to know, gentlemen, share some of your favorite holiday traditions with us, please.
Well,
We got options.
so assuming that we're Christian, right?
True.
As a new Catholic.
I guess you said holiday.
Holiday.
And I've had a spiritual awakening, so I've dropped the New Catholic thing. I've gone completely spiritual now, and it's feeling pretty good. It's all on the inside.
Yeah.
Because my happiness is inside.
But your goal has always been to get on the
My
inside.
pleasure is on the outside. My joy is on the inside. And but putting that aside, my family does celebrate during the holidays, and so I've joined them. One of my favorite holiday tradition is to sprain my ankle. That's one.
It's like an annual thing that you do.
He's such a baby, too.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. So Yeah, I was at my in-laws down in Salem, Oregon, which is a government town. Oh no, Dallas, Oregon, which is outside of Salem.
Is that the Dallas?
No, not the Dallas. Dallas, which is on the way to the coast, toward the Pacific Ocean. And it's a county seat. I don't know why that's relevant. It's not. But I had to sleep on the couch because it's the in-laws, right? Even though we've been married for 30 years, do not sleep together inside the house. No, it just
All right.
doesn't work. And so I'm sleeping on the couch, and we had kind of a whiskey fest. We drank some whiskey over the evening, and it was pouring down rain. It was just and yeah, my wife and I and our 2 boys were heading to Hawaii the next day or two for our Christmas holiday.
Nice.
But we're down there doing this Christmas Eve, sleeping on the couch, passed out on the couch, who knows? But I was on the couch.
Same thing.
I had to pee. So I got up, not thinking clearly. I decided to go pee outside because that's what dudes do, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I can relate. Sure.
Especially in Dallas, Oregon.
Yeah, there's no way around. So I go out, and they're into landscaping. There's all kinds of gardens and different levels and all that stuff. So I walk out in the rain, and I'm peeing, and
Put your hands away.
I tipped over, and I went into the garden, and I fell down, middle of the night, came back inside, laid down, and completely forgot about it. So
As you do.
I'm sleeping. Yeah, you just went back to sleep. I wake up in the morning, and everybody's up having coffee, and I'm still sleeping on the sofa. And Beth goes, "What is that on you?" And all this bark dust was covering my body. And I go, "I have no idea what that is. I don't know how that got there." And then I swung my legs out to get out of the couch, the sofa, bed.
Davenport.
Yes, Davenport, thank you. I didn't come up. That's a great hotel in Spokane, Washington.
You did
And
this.
I stood up, and I went right back down. I fell down, and I had completely rolled my ankle. It was this big. Can you see that?
Oh.
And it was.
We know men exaggerate. Come on, let's be honest. No, I'm kidding.
Then we got on a flight, went to Hawaii, and I limped around for 10 days in Hawaii,
Oof.
in Maui, on the beach.
Oh.
That's not your first ankle sprain, is it?
Well, I was going to say, how did it become a tradition?
It's kind of become a what?
How did it become a tradition?
Well, I
Because
think they'll fill in the rest.
he sleeps by himself every Christmas
Because,
Eve.
every
All right.
Christmas for the past 20 years, we've had to hear this same fucking story. So that's my tradition. I gotta listen to you.
There it is. Awesome.
I love it.
All kidding aside, in my family, I have 4 kids, and our first grandchild she turned 11 months old a couple days ago.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. My kids range from 33 down to 20 years old. 3 boys and a girl. And we've always been close.
Same dad.
Mostly.
That's another tradition. For the other part.
Well, it is the Homewrecker podcast, so.
But no, for me, it's always just been gather the family around and spend time with each other. My wife is really, really, really good at Christmas, and she does most of the work. She's probably home decorating right now, and I'm here drinking with my buddies in a garage.
That can be Christmas spirit. Yeah. There you go. Christmas tradition. Drinking with your friends.
So nothing crazy for me, but it is a good time of year with all my family for sure.
Nice.
Awesome.
Oh, I love that. What about you, Mark?
My traditions typically last a year, and then my wife says that's not going to do it again. But one of my favorites that I wish would have stuck but did not due to peer pressure and my wife, I hate Christmas lights. Not that I hate them, I just don't feel like doing them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you there.
So, So we just had, our kids were both young. They were probably 3 and 7, or 3 and 6, old enough to know and want lights. And my wife is brainwashed enough to believe in all this stuff. So she's begging me to get Christmas lights up. I keep dragging it out. Doesn't happen. And so finally I say, fine. I took the wad of outside Christmas lights, and I got up on the roof. I just threw them on the roof. Just in a big wad, plugged them in, and that was my Christmas display.
Like a Charlie Brown Christmas.
It was very much like a Charlie.
Did you get any pictures of that?
Did I what?
Get any pictures of that?
No, I did not get pictures, but my wife went to my principal at school and complained, and so I got called into the principal's office as a goddamn adult. And he told me to change that shit right now and pull my head out of my ass. And so that tradition came to an end. And in fact, I just talked to my wife this morning, and I wish I could go back to that and just kind of throw some lights up on the roof and call it good.
Was that at the house on Five Heights, or was that?
No, that was back in Cal.
Because I would have loved to have seen it.
It didn't last long, unfortunately.
So we 3 used to be next door neighbors.
Right.
I
Yeah.
moved and he moved, and so we're not neighbors anymore. But
I'm the anchor.
yeah, we pretty much straightened his ass out when he showed up in our yard.
Innocent little boy. And he likes a little taste of the whiskey.
That's a different tradition.
Yeah, I had, Lonnie and I were living up there, and we had these houses, but we were surrounded by all these beautiful woods and the green belts and all that kind of stuff.
It was a shitload of dogwood and blackberry.
So I go to work one day, and I get back home, and I worked a lot. It was almost 7 hours. And so
That's a lot.
I came back, and the woods were cleared in one afternoon. And I'm like, what happened? And all of a sudden I found Lonnie goes, well, Chilbert, the high school basketball coach, bought that property and he cleared it. I go, how did he know about that? Why did he do that? I told him. So not only that, but then he destroyed my fence when they cleared the property. So it was a rough beginning because
And you're welcome.
I also had a great big Douglas fir that was old growth. It was like,
I think they're ready for the next
I
question.
think it was like a Christmas tree.
it was a Christmas tree, right? He had to call and ask me to cut it down. And I said, sure, if you pay for it.
So, anyways, getting back to Christmas. So my house happens to be 50 feet high. It goes way up. And there's no way in hell I'm going up there to put lights on. So I pay a couple of guys that do gutters for a living to go on their 50 or 40-foot ladders to go.
And that's kind of become your tradition.
That is tradition. Yeah, we've done it ever since. Yeah, 6
There you
years
go.
in a row now.
I never-
There's no way in hell I'm going up there.
I never thought of that. Like, you could hire people to put up your Christmas lights
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, there's people that do that.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
that. I just figured everyone just does it themselves.
Well, now again, my wife is a wonderful woman. But that's the way she decided we should do it, which I'm fine with because it's really high. But now these guys do about 10 houses in my neighborhood at about $400 a shot. Ka-ching, 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 right down the street.
It's not a bad
Same
little,
day.
hustle there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, oh, wow, $400, but then you got to pay for the lights, the electricity, for
Right.
for that to be going year round. So
Right, and I'm still waiting for a little kickback from the gutter guys for me setting up, the neighbors, but nothing.
nothing.
Is that about Christmas?
Man.
It is about Christmas because they should be giving too.
My way was cheaper and faster.
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of Mark's way of doing stuff.
Yeah.
Toss it up.
Well, they make
Done.
those Christmas lights. It's like a net. Have you seen those? So it's like Christmas lights on a net, so you can put them over bushes and things like that. Maybe
Oh.
just get like a big one and spread
My
it
wife
across.
didn't like that either.
No?
No.
But those are fast. Those are their uniform. I drink to that.
I'm gonna drink to it right now.
She didn't like it.
Or nowadays you can just do the little lights that you like stick in your lawn
Like
and
the
then
projector
the projector lights.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it just does things like
Yeah.
I personally prefer real lights. I think those are better when you
I
actually
think you have to be high to enjoy the the projector lights.
So,
I think
Really
so.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're lackluster. It's not as
Yeah, probably
fulfilling.
mushrooms, not even pot.
I'm high right now. So,
We're high on life.
We were second state to legalize marijuana.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, Colorado was first, we're second.
Oh. I was gonna say, was it Oregon just legalize like everything?
Yeah,
Yes.
you can do whatever you want there.
And I
Merry
my
Christmas to
in-laws
everyone
are
there.
using heroin. It'll be great.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Why not?
You can ship the flower bed and they come back.
You can do whatever you want in Oregon.
I was gonna say, think about Christmas shopping there. I'm gonna get some cocaine for this person, a little weed for this person, some heroin. Ah, it's legal now.
Why not?
I think you were born in the 80s.
Yeah, yep, I was.
Yeah, you were. Yep.
Yeah.
Probably a result of too much cocaine. So you can
Provide the whiskey car part.
Oh, I'm just always so excited. I can't help it.
That's you.
And I've only had one cup of coffee today.
Wow.
Wow. I've had 1.5. We're not too different on that. But I have had one cocktail. How about you?
I have,
None yet.
but I'm not a big drinker.
Right,
And
we've established that.
yes, but I'm not huge on wine. But a few weekends ago, our friend Sean came over, and I made reddened lamb, and he brought red wine. And I had it. I was
Yeah,
like,
you should.
this is really good. So we found a red wine that we like. So we went to the liquor store and bought as many as there were on the shelves so we could stock up.
That was good thinking.
Uh-oh.
Look,
Exactly.
you're growing up. It's so sweet.
It's okay. My glass is like just this much in the glass. It's not a lot, but it's enough for
Yeah,
me.
like 13 of them.
Don't worry, that tolerance is going to build pretty quick. Don't worry.
I know I have one glass and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Whew, it's getting hot. I'm feeling good. It's nice. I'm a cheap date, all right?
Yes.
Those are the sulfites.
Yes. Even a
And a new
toasty.
tradition is born.
And
That's it.
look at that.
Here we go.
Yes.
So what else is going on with you guys? Anything else new? Exciting?
Just waiting for the vaccine.
Yeah, waiting for the vaccine. Waiting for the vaccine. And yeah, I had a bunch of work done on my scooter. Feel pretty good about that. I got heated grips on it, so now I can ride in the cold weather with like muffs.
Your
Heated grips.
hands in the muff again.
And I've got a leather thing that goes over my body, and I can go in cold. I might ride today. Doesn't matter.
Nice.
Nice, there you go.
Very good.
Pretty excited about
Okay, get ready to bleep this out. His scooter has a Kotex warmer too.
that. They don't like the fact that I like to be warm.
You want to be comfortable. That's all.
So here's a tradition, and then tonight these guys and their wives are coming to my house for a little Christmas party.
Nice.
Nice.
What do you guys do? Other than drink?
Drink. Yeah, we got a prime rib going. Maybe
Oh, prime rib.
a couple gifts to exchange, maybe.
Oh shit! Really?
He's gonna run out. He's gonna get on a scooter and run to the store quick.
In our state, you can only have 5 in a gathering, otherwise the governor will cuff you and take you away. So we're going to rotate, because there's 6 of us, so we're going to have one person stay in the car, and then every 15 minutes we're going to rotate around so we don't get in trouble.
Right.
Oh, there you
There
go.
you
We're
go.
not troublemakers.
We're gonna wear our masks.
Yeah.
Fine.
Oh, yeah.
You know what time, Monique, we met today
What
in
time?
advance? You know what time? 11:11.
Oh,
Oh.
11:11.
Yeah, angel number.
Yes. Well, I was going to say, I was just talking to Alex about angel numbers because 444 keeps popping up for me. And Alex keeps getting 333 and 666.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, well, of course, 666. Yeah.
but no, I was saying it's actually not as negative. Like, there's positive to it. And I was trying to explain to him with angel numbers, like, there's 4666, that is, I believe that one is with like creativity and home and family and things of that nature. So I was like, it's not a bad thing. It's just like with the 333 and the 666, I was like, I think that it's like you need to be more creative and use your family around you to do that. Maybe that's what the universe is saying.
But if you put those together, you become German. 996.
Yes.
Wow, way to pull that one out.
It's the easy math I can do.
It's better than my red wine math that I was doing a few weekends
They
ago.
were only this big. They were just this big. Those glasses of wine.
Just this big red wine math, yes.
That's the 444.
There you go. 4 ounces, 4 ounces, 4 ounces.
I'm sorry.
Oh, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. We always have so much fun whenever we get together and talk. And
Yeah, my face always hurts after from smiling. and
does,
laughing,
because
so
you guys have
thank
us
you.
cracking up so much all the time.
Well, you know what? It's not like Joe Rogan's been beating our door down.
I think, yeah, he can't handle you guys, I don't think. You guys are...
You guys have really been prolific, man. You're doing a lot of stuff out there, and
Thank
congratulations on that.
you.
Thank you.
411 thing.
Yeah, they're working hard.
Really good for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
happy holidays.
Yes,
Thank
happy
you.
holidays,
Same to you. We
gentlemen.
love you guys.
Thank you.
Everyone, listen to the podcast Chasing Ghosts on Scooters in Bars with Mark, and Lonnie the Lizard King. Guys, thank you. I'm always going to say Lizard King. I know it's the lizard, but it's just my special touch.
He put a crown on one of those Burger King crowns.
Awesome.
And it's trademarked.
There you go. We'll start making t-shirts.
Okay.
We
Yes,
have to now. We have to.
Stuff. It's coming your way soon, I'm sure.
guys.
Got new stickers yet.
Oh, I love it. Guys, we love you. We hope you have a wonderful Christmas. Thank
Happy
you.
holidays. Merry Christmas, guys.
And a happy New Year.
You guys are the best.
Thank you, too. Bye. We're here with our pal, Jamie Jamitkowski. He is the former owner of Chaotic Wrestling. And he's our friend. He was on the past episode about superstitions, which we got a lot of feedback about. You really made people hype up about that one. They really like the red ribbon.
Yeah, you got a lot of people thinking.
You guys have shared that with me, that a lot of people you talk to, a lot of listeners, are now adopting the red ribbon thing, which is awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. So we got a lot of feedback. So Jamie, welcome back. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me back. This is happy holidays, Merry Christmas. It's that time of year.
Mhm.
Yes, happy Hanukkah as we record. It's Hanukkah. So,
Oh, all right. Well, happy Hanukkah,
Yes,
everyone who
yes.
celebrates Hanukkah.
And for our watchers, they might have noticed we've had a few outfit changes, had a few hairstyle changes, like Cher. Each guest has something different on.
I feel like I should have dressed more festively, though. I just
Okay.
realized that I'm in.
You're wearing a shirt.
I know, I just realized, like,
You're looking
we probably
buff, too.
should have, yeah, you look jacked. We probably should have dressed Christmassy.
Okay. Do you want to go change?
No.
All right then.
That's okay. So none of us thought to dress Christmassy.
Whatever.
I don't really. I feel bad. I feel like one of us should have gotten a little bit more dolled up for Christmas.
It's okay. I was in my PJs 5 minutes ago, so.
Oh, well, there you have it.
Oh, that would have been a completely different video chat.
Yes.
So, Jamie, were you going to say something?
No, I was going to say, so Jamie, what are some of your
Yes.
Christmas traditions?
Well, like, are you guys talking about traditions on like actual Christmas or
Holiday traditions, what have you.
Yeah, whatever you do leading
Yeah.
up to it, whatever.
See, we're those crazy people. We start really early, like Thanksgiving weekend.
Oh,
Is
wow.
when we start rolling out Christmas.
Okay.
So traditionally, Thanksgiving weekend, that'll be the weekend when the tree goes up, all of our decorations go up, or at least they start rolling out that weekend. So that's usually our big one. And like the Thanksgiving traditions are usually trees go up, lights get turned on, and the other thing we'll do is Thanksgiving weekend we'll kick off the holiday movie season with the original Miracle on 34th Street.
I've never
Oh.
seen that movie.
You never seen that?
Never saw it.
I haven't seen it in a long
Oh,
time.
now,
But
do you guys know that? I don't know if we talked about this. I used to talk about this on the For the Pops podcast. You guys know I'm a crier when it comes to movies, right?
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm a crier. And Miracle on 34th Street, that gets my tears rolling.
Still?
Gets my tears rolling.
Still, really?
Oh God, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All
They
right.
were doing like one of those channels, I want to say like AMC or TMC, Turner Classic Movies, I think, this summer, was doing like a Christmas in July or Christmas in August. And literally, I'm sitting on my couch at 10:30 at night on like August 15th, crying my eyes out when Santa talked to the little Dutch girl in the middle of Macy's. Yeah, done.
It's okay. I'm a crier too. I'm so bad. Like some movies, like I think Declan was asking me about some movie, what it was about, and I was so traumatized by how sad it was. I couldn't even get through explaining what the movie was about without starting to cry. I was like,
Oh yeah.
like it was horrible, and it was just like some random movie, but I thought it was so sad. I was traumatized. Like some movies I'll watch and I'll be like in a depression for days afterwards, just because it's so sad.
Wow.
And other people will just be like, okay. Yeah.
No, like I said, that's usually at the start of our season. I will tell you one funny story last year though. Like, I always say that I will actually like, especially outdoor lights, I will string those before Thanksgiving. Like, if you get like one of those rare, like 50, 60 degree days in November,
Yeah.
I'll string them then.
All
But
right.
you don't turn them on, because then you're those people in the neighborhood turning on Christmas lights. I know this year all rules have gone out the window.
Right.
Because, you know, I know people are putting them up extra early and all of that stuff. But, so last year, I had everything strung, and my wife is actually worse than I am. My rules tend to be, I'll start listening to Christmas carols like around mid to the end of November. My wife, November 5th, she starts. The only reason she starts the 5th is November 4th is my birthday. And she can't do Christmas, but she'll start listening November 5th.
Wow.
So last year, we live in a neighborhood, I call it Pleasantville. You know, all the houses kind of look the same. We all wave to each other at 6 in the morning when we leave. And last year, it's like November 10th, and my wife comes, she goes, "Did you see all the people with Christmas lights on in the neighborhood?" And I actually hadn't noticed yet. And sure enough, the next day I'm driving home from work, and I'm like, "Yeah, wow, a lot of people have them on already." And she's like, well, when are you going to turn ours on? I'm like, well, Thanksgiving weekend. Day after Thanksgiving. She's like, well, no, other people have mine. You have to turn them on. So, and I'm like, I border on Clark Griswold at times. It kind of builds up over the course of the holiday season. So I turn all mine on, and our house is glowing. It was then that I realized in our neighborhood, those were not Christmas lights. Those were for a completely separate religion called Diwali, this festival of lights. I think it's a Hindu or Buddhist. That is it. Yeah. So basically, what I ended up doing was I culturally appropriated somebody else's holiday,
There you
just
go.
so I could be the good crazy Catholic.
Aww.
So that was it. So then I turned it back off for like 2 weeks. And my friend was like, "Why'd you turn it off?" I'm like, "Because I can't be those people. I don't want to be the mean Catholics."
We know Catholics are mean anyway, so.
That is awesome.
Taking over Christmas.
Catholics take over everything, so
That's right.
that's what they do. It's okay.
We called those the Crusades.
Yes. I will say, in terms of Christmas music, typically it has to be after Thanksgiving until I can get in the.
Okay, hold on. Here we go. Wait a minute. All right. Sorry.
No worries.
There we go.
Awesome.
Tremendous.
All right. I got a Christmas Aloha shirt.
Oh, I
There
love
it is.
it.
Nice.
Love it.
Now we're ready to go.
This year, I actually was into Christmas music early November.
Yeah.
I was feeling it. I don't know why. I just had the Christmas spirit in me.
Yeah, why not?
So, aren't you usually in Hawaii for Christmas?
Yeah, it's funny when we talk about traditions. That's become the new tradition over the past since Nikki was born and my parents moved out there. Like the past 20 years or so, our Christmas tradition has been we go to Hawaii. Hence the reason I just happened to have, as we were talking, I sent a message up to the house, "Hey, somebody go grab me a Christmas Aloha shirt."
There it is.
And
Nice.
this is the one I happen to have here. So, but yeah, we usually go to Hawaii every year for Christmas. My parents live out there, and then it has like its own separate. Everybody talks to me, well, doesn't that kind of suck going to Hawaii for Christmas? Because I'm like, no. Actually, we find that it's more festive there.
Oh,
than
really?
it is even as here. Yeah, because as dumb as it sounds, like what we were just talking about, it's sunny and 85 degrees every day. which gives people lots of time to decorate and put up lights and do
That's
all that
true.
stuff.
Yeah.
And I think
Good
they
point.
almost overly compensate for the fact that it's so tropical. That they do more.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, you're in Hawaii, so you can't really complain.
True. Yeah.
And our tradition out there, now all the New Englanders are going to mock me, but I do have some Hawaiian traditions too. This one notwithstanding, this is, I don't know how this one ended up here. I have a collection of, I think I'm up to probably like 35 Christmas aloha shirts. Everything from like kind of the cheesy one I'm wearing now. I think this one actually has a year on it. I think it's 2003. To like I have these really nice silk embroidered ones. And I've kind of done the math, like, if I wear one a day, I think I'd start wearing them somewhere like right around my birthday to actually work my way through all of them. But there's one, it's my very first one. I have a picture online on one of my social media somewhere, but I wear the same aloha shirt every year on Christmas morning and every year at church. And it's kind of this, it's a yellow one, and it has Santa sitting in a beach chair with his toes in the sand and Rudolph's in the ocean in a little inner tube. And that's been my little Christmas aloha shirt tradition.
I love it.
That's awesome.
And every year, like, a new one comes out in the collection, so my mom usually gets me that as my gift. And so the collection keeps growing, so,
Nice.
you know, pretty soon we'll be back up to, like, 4th of July. Christmas aloha shirts.
There you go.
I love it.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
And then the other long-standing one is, I'm sure a lot of people who listen, I don't know if you may not, but 24 Hours of a Christmas Story.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've done it before.
Yeah, we've done it in the past, yeah. But we don't have cable anymore now, so it's
Yeah,
that's
but
not happening anymore. But.
Even before, like when I was like a teenager and in my 20s and stuff, like
Yeah.
I'd leave it on.
See, I'm so bad. I know the actual timestamps of my favorite scenes.
Really?
I know when. It's like hour 1 at 37, like 12:37, you run in to watch this scene. Then you go in at hour 2 at 18. I think at hour 1:37, I think that's when they change the tire and he drops the lug nuts. Say fudge. I said the word. The big one, the queen, mother of dirty words, the F word. That's at 37. And I think at 18 on the flip side, I think that's one of the you'll shoot your eyes out, and then I cry. And then here's the funny part. I cry at the end of that one every time too.
Really? Wow.
When the dad, who seems to be clueless through the whole movie, kind of points out that there's one more gift behind the desk. So yeah.
Aww.
Awesome.
It's a warm holiday feeling.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool.
I was gonna say we typically watch Christmas Vacation.
Yeah. That's a staple.
That's another one of ours. We do a lot of holiday movies like throughout the season. Christmas Vacation's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
We tried last night to do a family Christmas movie night. And there's a new one, Dolly Parton's Christmas in the Square.
Oh.
It's a brand new one. We only made it through about 16 minutes before we ended up turning it off because my daughter and I could not contain our sarcasm enough to make it through that one. So basically, Cheryl pulled rank and said, "All right, enough from both of you. End it now. She'll watch it on her own some other time." Yeah, we couldn't do that one.
Sounds awesome.
We need
we need to watch
find
this.
Yes.
You need to check it out. But Christmas Vacation's one of them. Jim Carrey's The Grinch is another one that we watch. So yeah, we do all that stuff.
I introduced Alex last year to a Christmas movie I love. It's called A Christmas Horror Story.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Oh, it's so good.
It's a horror story.
But it's about Christmas. And of course, then we have Die Hard and Lethal Weapon.
Stop. All right, nice. It's been nice joining you. Bye-bye.
Jamie does not believe those are Christmas
movies.
movies.
On as a surprise guest now to Pearl Harbor, mate. Look, one of the longest, most heated debates from the old For the Pops podcast was always whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie. There are people. There's one gal, Danielle Jefferson, on social media today. She just posted her reading to me. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, the Die Hard version, where she wrote a poem literally just to piss me off every Christmas about Die Hard being a Christmas movie.
What about Gremlins?
Look, just because a movie takes place at Christmas does not make it a Christmas movie. It's very. I know some minds out there have a problem getting their simple little minds around this. But just because a movie takes place at Christmas, therefore Batman Returns is not a Christmas movie.
Oh, yeah,
It takes place at Christmas.
That's
Not a
right.
Christmas movie.
One could argue with Gremlins. You could say in terms of gift giving, in the spirit of Christmas, you have to, be thoughtful with your gifts. You could try to spin it into a type of Christmas tale of caution.
Here's my litmus test, and I argued with Scotty Slade about this for many an episode. If you take Christmas out of the movie, does the movie still fundamentally stand up? If the answer is yes, then it's not a Christmas movie. If you take Christmas out of Die Hard, guess what? The movie's still fine. Everything still works the exact same.
He's right.
He flies to the coast to see his wife. There happens to be an event going on in the building.
But it wouldn't have been a Christmas party. And it wouldn't be going there for Christmas.
It could have been any other thing. It could have been New Year's. It could have been.
It could have been a retirement dinner.
He's right. You just swayed me.
Christmas out of Die Hard.
You have swayed me, sir. Yeah, he just swayed me. He's right.
Take Christmas out of Gremlins. They give him a gift for a birthday.
True.
The movie still stands. Take Christmas out of A Christmas Story. There's no movie.
He's right.
Yeah, it's about some kids who deal with a bully. You could.
What?
It's about
What?
yeah.
It's about him getting a
Christmas
Red
story?
Ryder BB gun.
I know, but you could twist it around just like you twist everything else around.
See? This is Alex. The look on her face right now. I've seen this many a time. That's the look of somebody who doesn't want to lose this argument, but they know.
They know you're right.
I know what I feel inside, and inside I feel like those are Christmas movies.
They're movies that we watch at Christmas time that take place during Christmas.
That's right. Just because the movie takes place at Christmas,
He
does
swayed
not
me.
make it a Christmas movie.
He swayed me. He makes complete, total logical sense with his argument. So you know what?
Yeah.
He's won me over with that argument.
Wow.
Batman Returns. Take Christmas out. Most people, when I say that one, they're like, really? That one too? Yeah, doesn't matter.
It's Christmassy, yes,
Inherent to the plot.
He's right.
but it's Christmas.
You made an excellent argument.
All day, but it doesn't make it a Christmas movie. So those are most of our traditions. The last big one, and again, this is one where all the people in New England will purely mock me. It's also my Christmas tradition that as long as we're in Hawaii, I will swim in the ocean on Christmas Day, no matter what. Now the ocean there gets cold on Christmas, and when I say cold, it's like low 80s, but that's really chilly when you try to get in.
I was gonna say, it gets cold in Hawaii. I thought it was warmer.
Lowy.
No, like maybe the ocean temperature might get down to the upper 70s maybe, but that feels really chilly comparatively.
So it's kind of like a heated swimming pool.
Yes, well, yeah, yeah. Well, we have a solar heater on the swimming pool. So actually, I just looked today in Hawaii. The ocean temperature on Oahu is 79 degrees. That's frigid. That's cold.
Wow.
Imagine if Hampton Beach had 79-degree water
Oh gosh.
ever.
And that's what I think is so funny. I remember because this year, because of COVID, we didn't travel. We didn't go to Hawaii, and it was the first time in literally decades I spent a summer here. And I went up to Maine and I went to the ocean. It was middle of August. I'm like, yeah.
It's been 50 degrees.
Yeah, it's freezing. Yeah.
I think the warmest I've ever got in the ocean was 57 degrees. It up here, that's cold.
It's cold. Yeah.
Sounds awful.
You're like, oh, you poor people having to deal with cold water in your ocean.
My God. Anyway, so I think that, like I said, I think that's most of ours. Then we have little ones. We have a Santa table that we set up every year. Our house, our daughter Nikki, she had friends come over recently, and they made mention oh my God, your house is like Christmas Central. That we don't realize it's like that, but we have garland everywhere. We have a whole Santa table. We're like every year, we'll buy Cheryl another new a Santa statue.
Okay.
And so we have the Santa table where all those get set up. We have a little Hawaiian Christmas table over in the corner. So we're kind of
Aw,
Christmas crazies here.
that's adorable.
My microphone is dead.
Oh. Well, while Alex fixes his microphone, we'll just keep chatting.
That's because Monique unplugged you when you agreed with me on the whole Christmas
I think
movie
so.
thing.
I think you're right. Oh, there we go. I'm back. Okay.
Do you do anything, do you do any like Yankee swaps or anything like that with your family?
No, we tried. See, the problem is, like, my family, moderation is not, like, in our vocabulary. So we tend to go really overboard at Christmas. Oh, I'll tell you one thing. You don't have a lot of kid listeners, do you?
I don't think so.
Doubtful.
Yeah.
I'll do this as carefully as I can. We learned...
We swear a lot, so just go for it.
We learned very late in our life, our daughter was much older, that in a lot of families, we didn't know that Santa doesn't wrap the gifts. That gifts from parents are wrapped. Gifts from Santa are not.
What?
Really?
So what we would do is we always made sure that Santa knew what wrapping paper we were using for our daughter, so that Santa didn't have the same wrapping paper.
Oh yeah, we do that. Like before we told our kids there's no such thing as Santa,
Yeah.
I would wrap all the Santa gifts in a separate wrapping paper.
That's what we would do.
Yeah.
And the funny part would be, remember, where we would spend all of ours in Hawaii, so we travel 6,000 miles. So we would literally either have to coordinate with my mom to buy different wrapping paper for Santa. And then it came down to wrapping it. So I'll never forget, there was one Christmas, we got out there late. We got out there because of weather. We got out there on the 23rd. And so we went out for Christmas Eve dinner. And there was kind of a separate little, like a spare room in the house. And my daughter was young. She had to be like maybe 4 or 5 years old. So Cheryl says to me that she was going to go lay down with Nikki and help her fall asleep. And then she would meet me upstairs in the spare room to wrap all of the gifts from Santa. Well, sure enough, we've just got out for Christmas Eve dinner. We're jet lagged because we just got in the day before. Cheryl falls asleep. I can't wake her up. I'm up till 2:30 in the morning wrapping gifts from Santa.
Oh.
That year, yeah. However, the good news is also in that spare room is my parents' their wine fridge. So I made sure I opened, in pure payback, and I will admit this is not the Christmas season, I opened their most expensive bottle of champagne, and I drank it alone until 2:30 in the morning.
Nice.
While I wrapped gifts from Santa.
Good for you.
There was one year, Al, you might appreciate this, there was one year where I convinced, as Nikki was starting to get a little older, I convinced her that, all the kids are probably giving Santa milk and cookies. Really what you should leave for Santa is, like, some whiskey and some chips.
Nice.
So I was thinking,
Well done.
I'm the one who's going
Well
to be,
Yeah.
drinking this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Well
Nice.
done.
What we found out, I started this whole story, we found out much later, a lot of people, what they do is they say, the gifts, Santa doesn't wrap his gifts.
I never heard that.
I've never heard that.
Never heard
Think
that.
how much easier that would have made life.
Right? Yeah. I never heard that. But that does make sense. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
So for
Genius.
any new parents out there, Santa doesn't wrap the gifts.
There you go. Learn
Yeah.
something new.
Yeah, there you have it.
And the only last one we can kind of wrap up is the other one that my daughter's really angry at us to this day. We never did Elf on a Shelf.
That's okay. That's so...
Because we were kind of like, I feel like we were kind of in between, although I guess we weren't because all of her friends had one. But I guess very early on, my wife told our daughter that the elf couldn't travel to Hawaii because it was too hot. So we never
That's
did it.
great. That's awesome. We did it, what, 1 year?
Yeah,
And-
like we
and-
did it once.
And they couldn't care less.
They couldn't care. No,
Yeah.
it was just Declan. And
Oh, it was
he
just that
did
one.
not
Okay.
care.
Yeah, he didn't care. So
Didn't
we're
care. And like 3 days would go by and be like, shit, I forgot to move it. And be like, put it somewhere else. Nobody cared.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like I've heard these horror stories of parents like having to get up at 3 in the morning because they forgot to move the elf, so they go and they move it. But the only good thing was, I'm sure you both see it online. Like you can find some great inappropriate ones that people have done.
I've seen
Yeah.
some of those, yeah.
I just realized I should have been like, oh, he's dead.
Oh,
Wow.
oh,
Wow.
You don't have to worry about moving it. You could do like a little burial and yeah.
killed Sparkle.
Wow. My wife, everyone.
Yeah, really.
Dead. Jeez.
This is why Alice has just one eye open every single night.
Yeah, man, you have no idea. I'm just kidding, man. Kidding. Goodness. Wow. All right. Well, thanks, Jamie, for swaying me. And now we know Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
Hush your mouth.
Just remember,
Yeah.
if you take Christmas out of the movie and the movie still stands up, it's not really a Christmas movie.
It's Die Hard. It'll stand up no matter what.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie, woman. I'm just saying it's not a Christmas movie. I don't know why this is so hard all to comprehend.
You just caught me so good.
I might go watch it when we're done.
Yes.
Yes.
But you know what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to tell people, oh, I'm watching a Christmas movie. You know, Indiana Jones and the Holy Grail, it has the cup of Christ in it. It's not an Easter movie. No. Just because
right.
it has to do with
We should
Jesus.
watch that every Easter now.
Sadly, I do watch that one every Easter because of the Holy Grail. I figured I can get away with it, but
That's awesome.
it's not an Easter movie.
No, you're right. It's not. It's really not.
But it could be. Let's watch it again.
Stop.
Yep.
Stop. Jamie, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jamie.
We appreciate it.
Back. You guys have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and hopefully we can talk again in the new year. When from it sounds everything's going to be better. 2021 is going to be a better year. So thumbs up.
We can only hope.
Yeah.
We can only
Well, we'll
hope.
see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
But Jamie, thank you so much. Please give our love to Charlotte and Nikki.
Yes. And Merry
I
Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas and
Christmas.
Happy New
Take care.
Year.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So we are back now, just you and I.
Yes, just the
And-
two of us.
Yeah, it's just the two of us. So now, don't hate me now that Jamie has swayed me into the Die Hard is not a Christmas movie camp. But he made such a good point. He's right. If you take Christmas out of the... What? Why are you giving me such a dirty look?
It's a Christmas movie. It has the spirit of Christmas.
At which point? When he's shooting people or throwing people off the way? At what point is it? at the
He wants
spirit
to be with
of
his
Christmas?
family. He's doing all
Oh,
of
boy.
that for his family. I mean, granted, everyone else there too, but because he loves his family. It's a good family movie.
Oh boy.
What?
Oh boy. Nothing. Just you missed the whole point of the argument.
I got the point of the argument. I just don't agree with it.
All right.
But I remembered another Christmas tradition that we have.
What do we have? What's that?
Yes, with my parents. Every Christmas, my mom gets us a calendar. This started back when we were kids.
Oh, really?
Maybe
It's been going on that
teenagers.
long?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
My mom used to get both my brother and I the Far Side calendar. Do you remember that comic?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so she would get us a Far Side calendar until they stopped making them. And then after that, she got a couple things here and there, and then she started doing the picture calendars. So then once we were together, we would get our calendars. So she does it on the computer, so every month has pictures from throughout the year. And they're awesome.
Yeah, I love the calendar.
It's like our favorite
Yes.
thing in the world.
Yeah, that's like the thing we look forward to every year.
Yes.
Our new calendar.
And we're not getting one this year just because
Yeah,
my mom
yeah.
wasn't able to
Crazy
do it.
circumstances, but
Yeah,
yes.
which
yeah.
is okay. But it's so funny that of all the gifts, we're like, we can't wait for the calendar.
It's true. And
It's
that's-
probably like the most
it's
least
true.
expensive thing, but it's the best thing
it's the-
because
yeah.
it's heartfelt and it's sharing memories from throughout the year.
Yeah.
My brother gets his own, so it's not like the same pictures. It's like all
Right.
custom made. My mom puts a lot of time into it.
Yeah. Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely the thing that we probably look forward to the most. I
Because
would
it's
say.
made with love.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, good one.
Yes.
Good one. Yeah, can't believe we've forgotten about that one when we were talking earlier. But yeah, good one for sure. So we talked to Michelle.
Yes.
That was a really good conversation.
Yes.
We talked to the Chasing Ghost guys, and I apologize for the audio on that one. Everybody, that's my fault. I'm really sorry about that. That was just a setting that I forgot to hit, and yeah, just bad. So I apologize for that. But those guys, always a blast to talk to.
We
Always a
love
lot
them.
of fun. And of course, our good friend Jamie.
Yes.
Always a blast to talk to him. And now we have something that Monique and I can argue about, thanks to Jamie. So thank you, Jamie.
Thanks, Jamie.
So,
Just something else we want to fight about, you know?
yeah, because we fight so much.
Hey,
We fight so much.
Merry Christmas. I don't want to fight tonight with you.
Right.
I love you, and you love me, and that's the way it ought to be. Just Ramones, that's all.
Yeah. Right on. Yes. So, if people want to share their holiday or Christmas traditions, whatever you want to call it, holidays,
Yeah.
Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate this time
Whatever
of
you
year.
celebrate. If you don't celebrate, some people celebrate Halloween instead of Christmas. They decorate all Halloween.
Yeah, hey,
I
whatever,
used to do that. It's
whatever floats your
awesome.
boat.
Whatever you do around this time of year,
Sure.
tell us. I want to hear.
Yeah,
I know.
We like hearing about people's unique experiences and traditions. It's a lot of fun. It's very interesting. Like what Jamie was saying about the people that don't wrap the gifts from Santa. It's so obvious, and I never would have thought of it. I never
I've
thought of
never
that.
heard of
I
that.
never heard it before. And yeah, it's such an obvious thing. Yeah, just don't wrap the gifts that Santa gets. So it
Makes sense.
makes total sense. So obvious, but I never heard
We
it
got to
before.
do things the hard way.
Yeah, I guess. So yeah, definitely reach out to us. We have a Twitter.
At Homewrecker Pod.
Can Instagram still go and fuck itself?
Yes.
All right, so we still don't know what's up with Instagram.
Instagram
so
can
forget
suck
it.
my left one. It's a Bikini Kill song.
Okay, we have a parlor.
At Homewrecker Pod. I might just make a new Instagram account.
Well, that okay.
I might just, depending on how I feel.
All right, sure. And actually, yeah, speaking of Parlor and all that, I've heard that is a compromised app, that it is easily hackable. So be careful if you're on that one. We may be, I probably should have mentioned that before to you, but yeah, I just heard that that's like a compromised thing.
Thanks for sharing.
So yeah, right here on the air, breaking news. Woo!
Hey.
So maybe don't go to Parlor. Yeah, maybe we'll stop. Maybe it's just gonna be Twitter. Maybe. Or our website,
We update it every week.
which is...
Homewreckerpodcast.com.
That was your cue. Damn it.
Well, I wanted to put in, we do update it every week. Unlike my website, tarotbymonique.com. However, my Etsy shop, Wonders by Monique, is always updating with new items for sale. That's Wonders by Monique on Etsy.
There you have it.
Yeah.
And if you haven't already, please subscribe, like our podcast, leave us a 5-star review if you don't mind. We'd really appreciate that. And we're also on YouTube and Brighteon.
Yes, we are.
So you can find us there, subscribe and like our channels there as well.
Mhm.
We
Leave
really
comments.
appreciate it. Yeah, leave comments. We read
Yeah.
all those too. They're a lot of fun to. We interact with people on there as well. Mostly Monique, but
I do the typing.
she does the typing and tells me what's going on. I go, oh yeah, that guy said that. Okay, tell him this. Ha!
I get excited because I just...
It's fun interacting with people.
It
We have a good time.
is.
So we appreciate everybody reaching out to us. We appreciate everybody's support. And yeah, do you have anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
Merry Christmas! Happy holidays! Whatever you celebrate, happy that to you.
Yes, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year.
Yes.
Are we going to be back before the New Year?
Yeah?
This is
No.
going to be, yes, this is airing on the
Yes.
23rd, so we
It's
will
the
be
week
back
after.
right before the New Year. But
Yes.
Happy New Year anyway.
Yeah.
It's got to be better than this year was, I would assume. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
For most people anyway. For most people. Hopefully.
Let's hope so.
Yes. Regardless, have a great holiday, however you're celebrating, what you're celebrating. Have fun, be safe, and yeah. That's that.
All right then.
Okay. So, it's been a long, long day.
It's been a very long day.
Yes, a long day. But we're going to close it out now. And until next time, everybody, I am the Golden Greek, Alex Arion. I've been joined, as always, by my beautiful, lovely, gorgeous, amazing trophy wife, Monique.
And you've been listening to the Homewrecker podcast.